Hey y'all, welcome back. Happy beautiful Friday. I had kind of a chill Friday, y'all. I got up at I got a late start this morning. I ain't gonna lie. I got up at 7, which put my baby dog. That's just my baby dog, yeah. That's just my baby dog, yeah. That put him behind schedule 2 hours, y'all, because I usually walk him at 5 a.m. But since I'm out of school now, since I'm not teaching the kiddos right now, I kind of sleep in. It's another reason why I've been kind of sleeping in too. But uh, I don't want to do TMI. None of y'all business. But yeah, I just needed a little bit of extra rest to try to decrease and minimize some things that was going on. Read between the lines. Inference here. Inference. Okay, for my ladies. But yeah, so I just slept in a little bit longer than usual today. I have him on a 5 a.m. schedule. We didn't go out until 7 a.m. today, and I felt so bad. But yeah, I did walk him nonetheless, as always. He's always gonna be taken care of. I fed him, and I immediately got to work on cleaning up my entire house. So that's what I did today. So that took me a minute from about 7:45 to 12ish. Yeah, I spent just like cleaning up, but I had breaks in between. Like I left and went to go get breakfast, came back, so it wasn't just consistent like work all the way until 12. But I did have a few pauses in between. But I got everything done. I had already cleaned my restroom and stuff last week, so that was already done. And then like a deep cleanse, and I just kind of freshened it up, and then I cleaned everything else: living room, both rooms, kitchen. Yeah, pretty much that's it. So yeah, I had a very tidy Friday, and then I went to the nail shop to get a pedicure because one toe was just bothering me, y'all. So I just got them all done over. But yeah, and then I had a Zoom meeting with some of my church members for one of the ministries that I'm in, and yeah, walked the doggy again, fed the doggy again, and for his evening spurt, and just kind of chilled out after that. Did a little bit of social media, and now I'm on here. But I just came on here, y'all, to say that, man, character is so imperative. Integrity is so imperative. I'm trying to see where to even start, y'all. And also, really quickly, yes, I have this on. It's my little throw that go over my bed because my house be cold. It's freezing, and that's how I like it sometimes, not all the time. But yeah, that's what we kind of got going on right now. And I'm not going to fake the funk. Like, I'm cold, so y'all going to get this video with my throw on, okay? But, but anyways, for real. So going back to what I was saying, y'all, Birdman hands. Where do I start, right? Where do I start? So last month, because we're in June now, so in the month of May, another ministry that I'm a part of, we did an outreach event, and we went to the food bank and we did some community service there. And so I guess I should say rather community service event. And we were there, and there was quite a few of us that showed up, that pulled up. Because one thing our church gonna do is be busy in ministry and serving, okay? And that's the thing that I love about this church. One of the many things that I love about this church. And so yeah, we went there and we served. And while we were serving, one of the ladies who worked there, she came up to me and she was like, what songs do y'all like? Like, what is it okay for me to play? And I'm like, girl, play whatever you want to play. Of course, not too much profanity and stuff like that. So then I end up giving her a song that one of our church members sang or whatever. So I said, oh, you can play this song. And then she asked me, she was like, who do you think will sing? Like if we do karaoke and stuff, who do you think will sing? And so I pointed to his sister. I'm like, oh, play this song and get her to sing it. I said, you're going to get a whole choir up in here if you play this song. And she's like, okay. She's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. And she was like, well, is he here? And I'm like, no, he had to leave. I didn't know the reason why he left at that time. But so I was like, yeah, I don't know. He left. I don't know if he's coming back. And she's like, well, I don't want to play if he don't come back. I said, it's okay. I said, I promise you, like, it won't go unsung, okay? And so she did. So anyways, we had a grand time. And then after it was all said and done, we ended up having to leave early because we had another event taking place at our church that we were all trying to make it to. And then the media team, they had to get back to make sure everything was in working order as far as like the projectors, the screens, the audio, like all, so much that go into this church, so much that gets poured into this church, and just the assistance of the members. It's just so beautiful to see. But anyway, so it's always moving. It's always moving parts at that church. It ain't nothing slow, okay? Everything is like fast paced. So we went from that event to the next event, but while we were walking out, she was walking us to the front desk and making sure we had everything that we came with and blase, blase. But she was just telling us, like, she was like, you know what? My God, y'all, like, God is just, he be working. But that is why you have to be a true, not a false representative of him, but a true representative of Christ, because you never know who is freaking watching you. You never know. And I was raised like that. My mama always taught me, like, wherever you go, always assume that a camera is watching you. And that's just how I live my life. I just always assume that whether it's a camera, it's a person, just somebody you may have no clue about could possibly be watching you to see how you move, how you act, how you respond, how you carry yourself, how you truly are, your real authentic self. And what are you going to have to show for it when you think that nobody is watching, when in fact, somebody just might be watching you? Integrity. All right? But yeah, so when it was all said and done, she was walking us out. She was like, you know what? She was like, the whole time I just watched y'all. And she was like, you and you. She pointed to another young lady that I was there with that was walking out with me. Love her down. Was one of the first people, well, actually the first person that I met at the church when I got there. She introduced herself. So sweet, so kind, so welcoming, so warm. And that's been my girl ever since. And so we were walking out together with her, and the lady who worked at this particular food bank that we were doing community service for, she was telling us about another church. And the crazy part is I've been to that church. I've actually met one of the Texans players, the star Texans player at this particular church that she was telling us about. And she was just saying how that church came there and she felt so convicted and like guilty for playing certain music. And she was like, it wasn't bad music. It didn't have profanity in it. It was just like the same music that she was playing for us, like line dances, the Tamia song, What I Think About You and Think About Giving Myself to You. She was playing that. And then she was playing, what's the fan song? And 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got my boots on the ground. Dun, dun, dun. She was playing music like that. So it was nothing that was offensive. It didn't have any cuss words or anything like that. And she said she had the same music playing for the other church. And the lady came in and just like ripped her apart and was like, turn this off. This is so inappropriate. Do not play this. This is not okay. And so that's why she came up to me and was like, what kind of music would y'all like? Like, what's appropriate? And I was like, girl, like, whatever. Like, it's a vibe up in here. You got to get the vibe going, sis. And she was like, you sure? And I'm like, yes. And so, so yeah, we were all in there. Man, we had a ball. Like, before we had to leave, Well, we was in there, we started line dancing, but we were still doing our jobs. We were still doing community service. When I had to tally them potato sacks up, I would tally. We on a roll, okay? We got 50 over here. Y'all can carry this one out, bring in the next one so we can put the next 50 up in here. Come on, we got to get this stuff out to these families, to these churches, to these people who need the food, right? So we doing what we got to do, but we are having a blast. We enjoying ourselves. We taking a pause and line dancing and getting back to what we came there to do, all at the same time, all in the same breath, right? And so as we were doing the line dances, she came up to me again and she was like, I loved your vibe. She was like, you and her, talking about the girl that I met when I first arrived at that church or whatever. She's like, man, y'all a vibe. Like, I love, man, y'all, man, I love y'all. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I was like, yeah, that's my girl. I was like, she is a vibe. We are a vibe. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. And so as she was walking us out and telling us about how the other church reacted to that type of music versus how we reacted at the church that we were at, she was like, two completely different churches. And she was like, the whole time I kept it to myself. So this is the girl talking, you guys, the girl that works at this particular food bank. So she's still talking, and she was like, her words, she said, the whole time I was watching y'all, I was just like, man, she was like, I kept it to myself, but I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. She said, do y'all know I used to go to the church that y'all go to? She was like, I was at the old location though. She said, I know y'all are now at a new location. How do y'all like the new location? And I was like, well, I'm fairly new. I'm some months in now. Me personally, I'm some months in, but I was like, but I'm still fairly new and stuff like that. And I said, and I absolutely love it. I love the people. I love the aura. I love the environment. I love just the energy that it gives off. I love the community service, the ministries, like how everybody is so involved and how you can tell that they have a yearning and a true love for the people that they serve, the people that they preach to, the people that they minister to. Like, they truly care about the people, and they are very big on community. And so we were all just giving our little testimonials and stuff to her about how we felt about the church and the new location and how we like it and so forth. And she was like, y'all, I used to go to that church. And she was like, and seeing y'all today, she was like, the entire time in my mind, and this makes me want to cry. I'm not going to cry though. Y'all know I'm a G. The Lord don't let me cry on camera. I don't know what it is. I cannot cry on camera, and I cannot cry in church. Like, it's like as soon as the tears start revving up, the Lord be like, all right, wrap this up. And then they soak back into my body. But yes, I'm not going to cry on camera. But when I get off, I might. Can't make no promises. But yes, y'all, she was like, to herself that entire time, she's like, to myself, I was just saying, wow, the church came to pick me up. That is what that girl said. She was like, the church came to pick me up. She said that was her only thought when she realized what church we came from. With her going to the original location of that church, the first church that they ever had, she was attending there. And then I don't know what made her take the break. I don't know if it's because they moved to the new location, or it's because she got this new job at the food bank, because she said she works at, there's 2 locations here in Houston for this particular food bank. She works both locations. So the location that we were at, they're only open Monday through, what was that? That was a Saturday, Monday through Saturday. But the other location that she also works at is open Monday through Sunday. So they are open 7 days a week, trying to ensure that they are feeding families and getting food out to these churches so that the churches can feed families and give back to those in need and who really are on hard times and stuff like that. So she works at both locations. She doesn't really have a day off, but she said if there's ever an opportunity where she can get a break on a Sunday, that she will come and be present back in the church where she first originally came from. So she was like, she was just in disbelief as to how we were carrying ourselves, how we acted towards her, our kindness, our gestures, like our vibe, once again, just really holding it down, representing our church in a good way, representing God in a good way, and shining his light around everybody who was in that place. And it was quite a few of us there. I think it was about 12 of us. It was about 12 of us that showed up and showed out. And then you had other people as well, like just came with their families to, serve and pack potatoes and weigh them correctly. I mean, it's a lot of little things that go into making sure that the food got out properly and it don't backfire on the company and they have to come out their pockets with extra money because we overpacked these carts with more than we were supposed to. But yeah, so everybody were, it was all hands on deck. But for her to just tell us that at the end, it was just like, oh my gosh, like my heart just dropped, because it's just like, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. And for her to sit up there and say those words verbatim, the church came to pick me up, like, girl, what? That is great. Like, God just be working. And check this out. Her partner, the other young gentleman that worked there with her alongside her, it was a black girl and a black man. His vibe was already vibing. His energy was on a whole nother level. I was like, I like him. So I started calling him Big Mike off the wood, but it's like Big Mike. Yeah, I was like, Big Mike, that's what I'm gonna call you. And so everybody just got very well acquainted. You know, I'm a jokester. When you make me feel comfortable, you will know if you make me feel comfortable. If I'm joking around you, if I'm, you know, vibing with you, then I'm comfortable. If I'm a little standoffish, that means I feel a little uncomfortable. It could be me, or it could be you. It could be the both of us, you dig? But yeah, I gotta feel comfortable around you to be able to joke and be my full self. And he came out the gate with just such a vibrant energy. I mean, that's all I need. That's all I need. And then I'm there for the taking. Like, I'm your girl. What you need, what you want. You feel me? But no, he came with such a high level of energy, just a burst of fresh air. Like, I loved him. And so we were just talking about our church and where we were located and stuff like that. And this was just a general conversation. Nobody had no idea that this man was really, and that's the thing too, like, you have no idea who's listening and tuning into your conversations that you're having. So we were just generalizing the church and just telling them where we were located and stuff, giving them benchmarks as to where it's located near and stuff like that. And y'all, this man popped up at the church the next day. The next day. He tapped me from behind because I was giving one of our church members a hug. And because I try to go in there like when I'm not able to actually attend the church, because I also do children's ministry. So I'm trying to work with the gift that God has given me, and I'm still like figuring out all the puzzle pieces as to how big he wants me to go with this thing, as far as teaching children, to what magnitude does that look like, you know? So I'm still playing around with it and trying to see where he really wants me to go with this. And so I also do ministry, part of the children's ministry. So on certain Sundays, I teach children's ministry, and it's not every Sunday. We don't teach at all on first Sunday. Everybody is in the church. And then the Sundays after that, that's when we all start rotating to teach the littles. And so that particular Sunday, I was just going in before I had to go to my designated area to teach the littles or whatever, before they started coming into the church. And I went to the sanctuary and I just gave everybody a hug, you know, to just speak, because I be missing them. Y'all don't even understand. I be missing my people when I'm at children's church, but I also got to do what soothes my heart. You know, I also got to, you know, do other things. So some days I don't get to go to the actual sanctuary, so I try to sneak my way in there beforehand and just give everybody a hug and let them know that I am here. I ain't absent, and y'all ain't got to send people out searching for me now. I'm here. I'm okay. But I'll just be letting them know I'm in children's church today. So when they do see me in church, they be like, oh, girl, you off today? I'll be like, girl, I'm off today. Somebody else is picking up the kids today. But yeah, so I went in there and I was just speaking to everybody. Then I get this little tap on my back. And I'm like, I'll turn around. I'm like, hey, oh my goodness. Like, I did not expect that man to be there. But again, you don't know who's listening to you. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's observing you. Just to see who you truly are, who y'all are as a collective, as a whole, because that was a church effort. She didn't just pay attention to me and to the other girl. She was paying attention to all of us. She may have pointed out our aura and our vibe in particular, but she was paying attention to everybody that was a part of that church. And so was he. And he came, and I was like, where our girl at? She ain't show up. He was like, nah, y'all know she at the other location. I'm like, dang, she did say that. My girl working, she a hustler. But yeah, so I hope to see her face at the new location soon. But it was just such a joy and a pleasure that he even came, and that he just saw it upon himself to say, let me check this church out, because people like them can't possibly go to church. Like, people like that really exist in the church. Yeah, we do. Like, that's what I don't be understanding. How they think church people are supposed to act stuck up, and half of them do. That's the problem. More than half. About a good 80-85%. And that's the problem. And I do find it, sometimes I do say it's an excuse as to why people don't want to come to church, but that's a valid excuse. Like, I've had some unpleasant people that I've met in churches, and it was just like it definitely made me want to stray away from the church. But I'm like, I'm not going to do God like that because of you. I'm not going to stop coming to his house because of you. In fact, I'm going to show people how you should truly be as a representative of Christ. And I'm going to do the opposite of what you're doing. I'm going to draw people into the church. And I've carried that with me all through my life. And look where it has gotten me. We got people coming to the church. We got people saying that the church came to pick them up, who attended the church at the old location and then stopped because of her work obligations, but is highly considering coming back to the new location. Like, God, that's all I want to do on this earth with my time, is show God through me. And don't get it twisted. There is still a side to me. I am still human. But I try every day to pick up my cross and follow the Lord. But I can still let you know where to get off. I ain't got to use no profanity. But what I will say, you gonna know. Stop playing with me. Don't ever try me again in your lifetime. Because I can take it there. And I ain't gonna lie, I had an incident like that right before school ended a couple of weeks ago, like 2.5 weeks ago. One of my coworkers, a fellow teacher, she took me there. I ain't gonna lie, I did kind of tell her do something about it. You talk so much, do something about it, back it up. But I ain't cursed at her. But I told her to step. Oh, okay. Anywho. So, because I'm like, no, people do get it twisted now. I am very kind. I am the sweetest person you could ever meet. I'm very cool, calm, and collected. And that's what people don't like. When they notice that your spirit is not in alignment with theirs, they get to poking and picking because they don't know which button to press. And they're going to try every button, every number in that telephone book to see which one to press. Which one going to call out her number today. Okay, and this has been going on since August of 2025, and it took her until May of 2026 to finally get a reaction out of me. And she got one. But I'm proud of myself because I didn't go where I could have went, where the old me would have went with her. This right here. Girl, what? Oh, okay, because I was taught to do this first and then do this last. Okay. Yeah, because we really like that. But I ain't go there with her because we were still at school and we were actually in front of kids and we were actually in front of one of our APs. But don't play with me when it comes to my students. Like, because they're just your students as well. Like, don't act like you haven't had them for the same amount of time that I've had them all this school year, and now you want to talk down on them. You didn't start doing that mess until another teacher started doing that mess. But now you just want to jump on a bandwagon that you've had all year to do, but you didn't. So you couldn't get me all year, and now you want to try to take another route to get me to that place. So let me meet you at that place. And then came back the next day. Oh, would you and your students like some chips? We have way more than enough in our classroom. And I said, no, thank you. Because I don't do that fake stuff. No, thank you. We're good. Then my spirit said, well, don't deny the kids. Go ahead and take it. And I said, well, let me go ahead and take it because they can use it. But I did tell her no thank you at first. No, no thank you. We're good. I don't do no fake stuff. I can't switch on and off my attitude when you disrespect me like that. No. I forgive you instantly, but I don't forget instantly. Don't play with me. Don't ever play with me. Because we still have a right to defend ourselves as Christians, as representatives of Christ. Because at the same time, Christ didn't play himself. And for some reason, people still have yet to get that through their thick skulls. Christ was not no punk. So what makes you think his children gonna be one? But I've learned to tame my flesh as best as I could. But don't ever get it twisted now. I will still let you know where to get off. I can still pop off. I won't use profanity, but I can still pop off and let you know, don't ever try me again. Don't ever play with me again in your life. Yeah. But anywho, so we all have a side to us. We all have to tame it daily. It's there. It's there. And I know my words can cut. Okay? My words can cut you deep. I don't have to say too many. And then I get so sassy, I use vocabulary that I know you don't know to really make you look dumb. So please don't play with me. Because we still got to remain classy too. But anyways, but yeah, y'all. So yeah, we all got that side to us. But nonetheless, we try every day to make sure we represent Christ in the best way, in the best light, as best as we can. Picking up that cross every day. Dying to our flesh every day. For as long as we can. But still don't let nobody play with y'all top. Like them kids said, don't play with my top. No. Okay, now I'm just rambling because I'm tired. Let me get up off this thing. Talk to y'all later. God bless. Be good, be great, be kind, be loving. Show grace. Represent Christ in all ways, always as best as you can. And love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Bye.